In the earliest generations after the flood, humanity multiplied again. Families became clans, clans became nations. They all shared one language, one vocabulary forged from the dust of fresh beginnings. Their unity was strong, but their hearts were restless. Travelers moved eastward and came to a wide, fertile plain in the land of Shinar, modern Mesopotamia. The land was flat, easy to build on, its clay perfect for bricks. Their leader, history remembers only as the first great builder, stood on that ground and said, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." And they did. Millions of them. For the first time, humans replaced stone with baked clay and tar for mortar. What was simple curiosity turned into vision, and what began as cooperation soon became ambition. They said, "Come, let us build for ourselves a city and a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves and not be scattered over the face of the earth." Pride had found a blueprint. They wanted security, a world where no flood could ever rise high enough, no sky could ever feel out of reach. And so construction began. The plain erupted with sound, axes chopping, wheels rolling, men shouting. Thousands labored side by side, a single language moving like the rhythm of one heartbeat. Brick after brick, the base grew. Broader, then higher, a spiral climbing into clouds. No one remembered the God who had given them the start. Their tower was a monument to humanity itself. At night, fires burned on the upper scaffold so that entire valleys glowed red. Travelers from far lands saw the rising monument and whispered, "Look, the gods live there." But there was only dust and people and pride. As the upper platform scraped clouds, the builders gathered to celebrate progress. "Soon we will touch the heavens." One shouted, "We will be known across the earth." Cheered another. The air was alive with arrogance. Meanwhile, in the unseen realm, heaven observed. The Lord came down to see the city and the tower that the sons of men were building. The irony is deliberate. Their sky-high tower was so small that God still had to come down to inspect it. He looked at their unity and said, "Behold, they are one people, and they all have one language." Nothing they plan will be impossible for them. But their unity was ambition without worship. So God decided not to destroy them by flood, but to divide them by understanding. The next morning, the workers returned to build. One mason called for another, "Hand me the brick." The man beside him frowned. "Chie, digest." The brick fell. A laborer from the north shouted a warning, but his partner stared blankly. Words became nonsense. Confusion climbed as high as the tower itself. Arguments erupted. Tools were dropped. Tempers flared. By noon, work had stopped entirely. The unity they called progress turned into chaos they couldn't repair. Families gathered into smaller groups. Some recognized each other's speech. Most did not. Panic spread like wind across scaffolding. By sunset, people were packing up carts and animals, heading in every direction just to find someone who understood them. The grand city that was supposed to keep them together became the birthplace of scattering. The place was named Babel, meaning confusion. Picture the Ansamite structure now silent. Unfinished walls jut out toward birds circling overhead. Half-formed arches crumble under desert rain. At night, the tower stands like a ghost against starlight, a reminder that even the strongest hands can't build eternity without humility. Generations later, nomads camp near its ruins and tell children the story. Here, people tried to climb to heaven itself. Babel feels like distant history, yet its echo still rings in every heart that tries to replace God with self. Every age builds its towers, careers we climb for identity, systems of technology that promise immortality. The problem was never the building, it was the motive. They said, "Let us make a name for ourselves." Unity without humility will always collapse. Centuries later, at Pentecost, God reversed Babel by giving every tongue a single message. Jesus is Lord. At Babel, one language became many. At Pentecost, many became one. Where pride divides, humility unites. You don't have to climb to heaven to meet him. He already came down to you. Heaven doesn't measure height. It measures surrender. Build altars, not towers. Altars draw heaven down and towers only push pride up.